What's going on, everybody? It's a new day and we're getting ready to do something we haven't done in a while. We're getting ready to go meet with somebody new today, a guy that I know from prison and a guy who I've actually shared a couple of prison stories about. One story that comes to mind took place during the shakedown where this guy actually bucked through a chair, ended up going to the hole. And I'm pretty sure that happened like right before this dude was getting ready to get released. The guy that we're getting ready to go meet today, his name is Griff. And another interesting thing to mention about this guy is he's been home from prison now for a little bit longer than I have. I got released on October 13, 2015, which literally just the other day made 4 years exactly that I've been released. And Griff actually got out a month before me. And we're getting ready to see where this guy is in his own life 4 years after prison. All right, you're gonna see me eating 1,000 mints. This trying to quit smoking thing is very serious. But folks, I'm just getting over here to meet with this individual Griff, who I want to introduce all of you to. Again, this is a guy that I served time with in prison, a guy that I've told some prison stories about, and a guy who I want to introduce all of you to because his story is one that I think you guys are going to find just very crazy. Griff, what's going on with you, man?
Another day, another dollar, buddy.
Haven't seen you since Indian Creek.
Yeah. Probably 6 building where I kirked out on the people because they tried to take my TV.
Yeah, I actually told that story about the shakedown and you throwing the chair, but we can talk about that. Look, this is the first time I'm seeing you since that place, and I've been home now for 4 years, just literally yesterday being 4 years for me. You've also been home for 4 years as well.
Yeah, and they let me off probation last year. I don't know how they let me do that, but in somehow, some way.
I think one thing that people are going to find very interesting about what you're going to share with us today and what we're going to talk about is just how different, unfortunately, your story is from mine. But I think that your story can really speak to a lot of people. And I think your story is one that people are going to want to see a follow-up and possibly also a continuation of. Yeah,
a snapshot of I came home September 3rd, 2015. You came home a month after me.
Came home in October.
Yeah, and if we showed pictures of how we're living, when it comes down to choices.
Well, it's my hope to be able to showcase a little bit of that today. But one thing that I want to talk with you about real quick is, you know, you're no stranger of After Prison Show. You've seen it, you've followed it, you've been in the After Prison Show fan page.
Yeah. It's a movement. I just hope that somehow, some way we can get more people on and, you know, and actually start making a difference, right? I need to sign on to something larger than myself so that I can, you know, move forward and focus on something. Because when I start thinking about me, it comes back to the things that I've always done. And I get what I get because I do what I do.
So look, we're at where you're staying at. You stay with your brother.
And 2 of my brothers.
2 of your brothers. You've actually got a house load of people. I've met a lot of the people who live with you, if not all of them. You got a nice little area where you're living at. Unfortunately, you're not living all that great. But as we get into this, there's one thing that I want to show people, and that's the fact that you've got the scooter over there.
Yes, I do.
Can we go look at it?
Yes. They're survivors. That's what I call them.
I gotta get this mint out of my mouth.
I gotta put these cigarettes out.
So Griff, you ended up getting you a scooter.
Yes, I did. I was inspired by the After Prison Show.
You saw what we were doing with the scooters.
Y'all reminded me that they were legal now.
You went and got you a scooter, and it wasn't but how long after you got yours that you had an accident?
It was within 24 hours that somebody sideswiped me on High Street.
Now, did you have any experience riding a scooter? Did you know what you were doing?
Yeah, actually, I had a scooter when I was 15, and I used to go all the way up Virginia Beach Boulevard to kiss my first girlfriend.
And 24 hours after getting this one.
Yeah, sideswiped the crap out of me. I'm trying to think. So we tumbled on this side because it broke this brake. All this is raggedy. This whole thing. It ripped the shield off my helmet. I got all that. And I can send you the pictures that you could throw up on there of what this shit used to look like at first.
Yeah, let me see your arms. I mean, you definitely got ate up really bad with that wreck.
Yeah, I can send you the pictures that you can throw in the video. But yeah, that's the scooter.
You get the scooter as a form of transportation. You know, what's your work situation like?
Technically I'm 32 hours a week as a personal care aide for a brother that's in a wheelchair. Yeah.
So you got work.
Yeah. Got a little bit of a paycheck coming in.
Look, as we get into this, I really want to talk about what your struggle has been like, because prior to us even beginning filming right here, you know, you were showing me around where we're at right now, where you're living at, and you're not living very good at all. That's by your own admission.
Yeah. What I figured out in a snapshot was Joe Guerrero comes home focused on staying clean and doing the right thing. I spent my last year in the penitentiary saving up money to come home and do me on my release date.
And what do you mean by do me? I mean, explain that, because we know what you're talking about.
Getting high in any way, shape, or form. Prostitutes, cocaine, heroin has always been my wife. Marijuana has been my girlfriend. So, and heroin sent me to prison twice. It's almost killed me about 10 times. And that's a story that we're going to get into.
And for the last 4 years that you've been released, this has been your struggle.
Yeah. I mean, I came home and I was lucky enough to find me a really good woman who had her stuff together. She moved me in. She gave me a chance. And then I started stealing out of the kids' piggy banks. You know? Calling it balancing, but I mean, about 18 months ago, she put me out. We still talk, we still deal with each other, but now I'm number 4 on her list, her job, her kids, and you know, everything else, and then I squeeze in now, whereas I used to be a partner, now I'm an obligation. Right?
What do you mean by an obligation?
I mean, because at one point in time, I didn't have a job, so she was buying my cigarettes, she was paying for my bus fare, all that type of stuff, because when I would go to the blood bank, I wasn't spending that money on my cigarettes and bus fare. I was spending that money on drugs, right? So, and I'm getting to the point where I'm still doing, I'm juggling now. I got the scooter, but yet things ain't adding up because I'm spending $25 and $40 on drugs almost every day. It's not like it used to be where it was $200 or where I was selling drugs, but now I call myself doing it halfway. And I'm still getting the same thing. So,
and how old are you, Griff?
40 years old.
You know, this has pretty much been your life.
Yeah, I've been doing this same thing over and over and over again, different cycles, different ways, but ever since the age of about 12, 13, 14. Right?
Do you have any desire to want to change? Obviously, you could have the desire, but it takes that willpower to be able to do it.
Now that's a video within itself there, Joe. Because on some real stuff, ever since my son passed away, January 17th, 2009, I really haven't had a purpose, right? I would say that my addiction before him was a party. My addiction since him has been misery, right? It's like I don't have enough balls to go ahead and end it on purpose, right? You know, like people with guns and stuff. I'm not suicidal, but addiction is suicide on a long-term plan, right? I mean, I'm smart enough to know that, and I know I'm wasting my life, but you know, I want to blame the stuff that's going on in my head, but really and truly, it's just a childish desire to get high. So.
You know, Griff, can we take this conversation to the backyard, because there's something definitely I want to showcase back there.
Life after prison.
Yeah.
That's where I recognize you from.
That's awesome.
At least you didn't say 23 and 1.
So Griff, we're in your backyard right now, and this is a very crazy place for us to be, because you shared a story with me, and this literally just happened
About 3 weeks ago. About what really clicked in my head and made me know that I needed help. I mean, I've always played with thinking that I needed help, but knowing that I needed help was about 3 weeks ago. A roommate in this house had to crawl through a bathroom window on this ladder right here to pull my legs.
This is the bathroom?
Yes, that's the bathroom window. And he had to climb through that window and pull my legs away from the bathroom door so that the paramedics could get in there and save my life. And the next morning...
Why? I mean, because obviously you had OD'd.
Yes. Me and needles don't get along. I keep trying to, whatever. Kids don't try this at home. So paramedics I get woken up at Maryview Hospital, and when I get home the next day, I see him, and I can't find it within myself to thank him.
The roommate who climbed through that ladder, or climbed on that ladder.
Shout out to Jerry Armstrong. People don't believe in second chances. Yeah, Jerry Armstrong. Yeah.
You said you couldn't find it to thank him.
Yeah, I couldn't find it within myself to thank him for basically saving my life. And knowing that I didn't want to thank somebody for waking me up. Said, boy, you need some help. Go down to behavioral health. Your gap, whatever, turned into Medicaid. You got coverage now. They did a good thing and gave a whole bunch of people help. So go down there and try to get some help. So I did that, and now I'm trying to get on the methadone clinic. And beyond that, they say addiction is just a symptom of a larger problem. So that's what I'm going to try to get at. I'm going to try to get at why I'm so self-destructive, right? If I look at the snapshot between me and Joe Guerrero, where we used to sleep next to each other in the same building, probably wearing the same drawers at one time because of the way the laundry was. So we came home with the same chances. And because he stayed clean and stayed focused and stayed trying to help people, I can see what he has. And I know that he's happy, right? Whereas me, I'm still digging the same hole, climbing out of the same holes, doing the same thing. I'm 40 years old, acting like I'm 12. Right? I act like because my son passed away 10 years ago that somebody owes me something, or I'm allowed to be angry, I'm allowed to be a piece of crap. And I don't believe in nothing, that's a whole different story, but I'm here for a reason, right? So I'm gonna sign on. I just want to be helping somebody.
And you talked about some things that you were going to do in an effort to try to do things different in your life. One of them was trying to get to the methadone clinic, something you've tried before that didn't work for you, but you're willing to give it another chance.
Yeah, give it another chance and go beyond that with the treatment, right? There's a reason why there's psychologists and stuff out there. There's a reason why there's Paxil and Prozac and stuff like that. And I've never, ever given that stuff a chance. When I was in jail, I took the Remeron because it makes you sleep, but then they sent me to a level 3 because, oh boy, don't take psycho meds in the jail because you're going to go someplace you don't want to be. Boy, yeah. So we're still alive, Joe. Still here. First, let us know these things, that our lives matter, that we were born with potential, that we can and will become part of something greater than ourselves, and thereby find the greatest part of ourselves. And let us do these things.
Weren't you like a cadre or something?
No, that was you.
No, I wasn't no cadre.
Cadre Guerrero.
I was the painter.
Hey, Stilky's right down. I was working. He was the first job I got when I came home. He gave me a job landscaping, and I couldn't even cut a line. They fired me after 3 days.
Griff, I had told some stories about you. I told one story in particular. There was a story that I never shared that you kept asking me, hey, do I remember this? But let's talk about two things real quick. Changing gears completely.
Right.
Me and you went through a prison shakedown together. I can't remember what was going on, but all I remember was you ended up throwing a chair. They were cuffing you up. They were taking you out. What happened?
All right, I had 35 days to go till I went home. I knew this. They didn't know this. My TV...
Hold on, we got to move because we can't be near this.
Yeah.
You had 35 days left to go.
I got 35 days to go. So if I was going home September 3rd, so this is the end of July. They're little biannual shakedowns. They did about 2 a year. Anyway, so my TV, I still had it till about 2 months ago, right? The power button wasn't working anymore. I was using it for catching football games. Anyway, so it was
4 years after prison. You're still using the prison TV.
I mean, it was useful, right? With the little broken antenna. I mean, it wasn't the only TV. Indian Creek, I spent as much time in the hole as I did on the yard. I went to the hole several times because I like to run my mouth. So my TV had been marked up, scratched up, taped up, everything, mostly by the COs, but some by us, because the way that we tied them up so that we could have the angle and lay and chill, right? So they had a problem with the way my TV looked. So they acted like they were going to take my TV. And me being 35 days, if you're going to take the TV, you're taking me, right? So they didn't believe me. So I started throwing chairs and kicking shit and yeah, going crazy. So yeah, that's the shakedown story. I go to the hole. I went home from the hole. They tried to make me stay there until about 11 o'clock in the morning. They were playing with me, acting like they weren't going to let me go. But yeah, that's that one. You want the one about the first time I went to the hole at Indian Creek?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So the day so all them levels there, right? Remember, you're in 1A. And you got to pass the thing so you can go to 1B.
What are you, a green band when you get there?
Yeah.
Green dot.
Yeah.
Then you're a yellow.
Yeah, so you move over to 1B where I slept next to Peaches, but that's beyond the story. So the day I graduated and passed that test, I go to the chow hall and I tell the lieutenant, I say, and then take me to the hole. He said, no, go back to the building. I said, I bet you I got one for you. I started took my shirt off. I was taking my jeans off, right? They got caught at my boots, and by that time they had tackled me. I had 3 different sets of handcuffs on me, and they took me to the hole.
Because you were doing what? You were taking all your clothes off in the chow?
I was getting naked on the boulevard. I was walking on that long strip between the chow hall and the boulevard, taking my clothes off, right? Where all the ducks and broke wing was at, right?
Why were you doing this, though? Why did you want to go to the hole so bad?
Because I was trying to get off the camp. Right?
That was something a lot of guys did. When they got there, they tried to go to the hole.
Here goes the trick up about that, and Joe. Me, William Griffin, 147047, whatever the hell my state number was, right? The only reason why I went to Indian Creek, the only reason why they sent me there was because all 5 camps I had been on in 2013, I wrote up so many informal complaints and grievances that they sent me to Indian Creek for my behavioral modification. And then when I went to the hole after only being in Indian Creek for 6 weeks, right? I couldn't get that 147 charge that they were giving everybody else, right? They wouldn't give it to me.
Because they thought you would write something up?
No, because no other camp wanted me. Hey, look,
you were the paper pusher.
Whoever the sergeant was at that meetup in Powhatan where all the buses go, you know, where you're switching and all that, whoever that sergeant was, she was like, Mr. Griffin, I think you broke a record. It's not a good record, but I think you broke a record. Because I went to Green Rock, left Green Rock, went to Rustburg, from Rustburg to Dillwyn, from Dillwyn back to Rustburg to Green Rock to Indian Creek, right? All in 13.
All in 1 year?
Yeah, all between May and December, because I hit Indian Creek December of 13.
You've seen After Prison Show. You've seen the stories that I've told. You know, what do you think about hearing some of these stories, especially ones that you know about, especially ones that involved you?
All right, what blew my mind was when I seen Dave, right? Because me and Dave, we go back. And then I come to find out I had this big idea. Hey, I'm going to start making YouTube videos, all this stuff. And then I made a couple, and then I found you. I was like, holy crap, Joe Guerrero, look at this dude. He's doing it too, got 1 million subscribers. I was like, oh, okay. But anyway, so Dave, and then Dave telling the real stories and getting down to it. And he wasn't lying about the addiction, right? And what sent him back to the regional for a year for a violation. I was like, man, they trying to do something. Let me sign on. I didn't mean to be a hater. Right, that's how he screamed on me on Twitch that time. Yeah, he's right in here too. Will Griff, stand up.
I don't remember what that was about.
Of course you do. I mean, you deal with 1,000 people. I deal with 5. So see what I'm saying? I understand how things get lost. You damn near a celebrity.
Nah, ain't nothing like that, man.
You damn near it. Damn near it. But hold on. Forget that word. How about if we say Joe Guerrero right now in my mind is like.
All right, we'll just leave all that out because
I know.
Here we go with Griff and his philosophy here.
Yeah. You know, I can go on. We can talk for hours about something that you're just going to edit out. So
look, you've reached out to me numerous times,
yes.
And me and you have talked on the phone a couple of.
Yes.
I think we talked like once or twice prior to this last time where I really wanted to try to get with you, and every time that we talked on the phone, it was really the same reasoning for me to be apprehensive, I guess is the best word, and that is the fact that
ghosting me because I'm a bad influence.
Well, I hate to make it sound like that, but
It's
there could be
absolutely
some
true.
truth to it. Look,
It's absolutely true.
when you're messing up, people don't want to deal with you, and that's just being for real.
Yeah, it's not like you're my sponsor.
You're a dude who has no problem admitting the fact, though, that since you've been home from prison, you even talked about, you know, saving money while you were locked up just so you could come home to get high. You're a guy that does not shy away from the situation that you've got a legitimate problem. Just 3 weeks ago, that ladder behind us was used in an effort to try to save your life.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here still dipping and dabbing.
You know, what, if anything, do you want people to take away from getting a chance to meet you for the first time? Here's a guy who wants to change.
Yeah. Okay, so I feel like I'm not the only one who knows that we need to be doing something else, right? And because I'm not doing exactly what I think I should be doing, I'm wasting it. I am purposely wasting my life because I can't find the right job. That's what it feels like. Because I can't find the right angle to push forward and make a change, then I just feel like I'm going to be like the rest of everybody else who, after they die, people forget their names, and there's countless. You know, I don't know what happened before we got here. I don't know what happened after we left. But right now, I'm so thankful that Joe showed up at my house, because now he might answer my phone calls. And now I might be able to help.
You know, I want to answer the phone calls, Griff, and I want to continue to deal with you. You're one of the craziest dudes that I remember from prison, and to be completely frank and to be honest with people, me and you weren't even that close in prison.
No.
We probably talked passively at best. I considered you the guy that slept next to me that was crazy as hell.
The conspiracy theory.
Yeah, that's what I called you. You were the conspiracy theorist, and that was fine. You know, we never had any issues. I never thought anything negatively of you.
Yeah.
And here we are, fast forward 4 years later, you're still stuck in this same rut that you want so bad to get out of, but you don't know what it's going to take or what it would be. You mentioned the job. You said if you could find that right job.
What it is that the angle, the job. I'm using job as a metaphor.
Right, I got that. It could be anything.
People have family and kids and car payments and mortgages and all that. I want to be a part of that.
Well, you got to start with yourself.
Exactly, and that's what all these therapists tell me, is that I need to focus on one foot in front of the other. I got to fix me before I can fix everything else. But it's like I gave up on me a long time ago.
Well, how do you put some stock and some faith and some value back into you? Because you definitely put the initiative into getting that moped to make it easier to go see the dope man. You definitely put the initiative into not caring about how you're living, so long as on that daily basis you're able to spend that $25 or that $40 like you mentioned.
Yeah.
You know, where do you start and it has to start with one day just saying, look, today's got to be a day where I attempt to do something different, as cliche as that sounds.
Oh man, we're getting on some therapy.
No, we're getting on that TPAP right now.
Yeah, exactly. Because on some real stuff, I can't bring my kid back. Right? I can't bring them back, and I can't make everybody who has kids. I remember I snapped one time and went to the hole because they were having an argument about people were mad about their being in arrears for their children, right? And I snapped on everybody and said I would pay twice your arrears and cut my right leg off just to have the opportunity to say I'm sorry to my child. I wish that I could give everybody the perspective on how thankful they should be just for their kids still breathing. And it hurts in a way that I can't explain. And I want to help, but I'm just self-destructive.
And look, I don't mean to sound cold or callous with what I'm about to say, and you know, I hope you don't take it that way. But you're not the only one that deals with tragedy, because that's what you went through. You went through a tragic event that you still find a way to let affect you on a daily basis. You know, me and my wife, and not that it's even part of this conversation, but me and my wife have tried to have kids and have gone through the miscarriages and the attempts not working, and it's hard to deal with. You're a guy that had a kid, you lost your child, and this was 10 years ago, like you said. You know, don't you want to do something better to honor your child's memory?
Yeah, and on some real stuff, if I could focus on that, that would help. But I seem not to. It's like my dad bought him a headstone a year ago, and it's like, to be honest with you, I'm using it as an excuse. I'm using it as an excuse. I'm being selfish.
You know, Griff, I would like to continue to work with you because you are a very opinionated and you do have some real good logic with you. It's crazy to think that a guy as smart as you continues to make the dumb decision on a daily basis, the selfish decision.
Yeah, bleep this, the smartest stupid they ever met. Yeah, that's all my friends tell me that. You're the smartest stupid mother I'll ever know.
But like what you had mentioned earlier, when I asked you, you know, what would you like people to take away from this? You said that, you know, there's other people who are struggling just like you're struggling. Yeah. You know, be an example, not only to yourself, but to somebody else, because now I'm introducing you to an audience that you've familiarized yourself with, to After Prison Show. Yeah. And people are going to have a lot of things to say about this. There's going to be people who root for you, and there's going to be people who say that you'll never do nothing right. Yep. They say it about me, and I don't do all that much wrong. You got
certified haters out there. How are people aiming at you like that? I don't see what you've done wrong.
I don't know, man. It's probably just because the way my hair looks. I'll be honest with you. Look, Griff, I'm not going to make this a therapy session. I didn't even mean to make it that. Yeah. I really wanted to introduce you.
I know, I wanted it to be funny. I wanted to talk about peaches.
Well, we can save that for another time. Look, you've got a lot to share with the world. Yeah. You had mentioned before that you were doing videos on YouTube. You like to rap. You like to do spoken word type of things. I've seen your videos.
Yeah, philosophy.
You know, and you've got some really interesting views on things. It's probably part of the reason why I didn't talk to you all that much in prison. But you know, I do wish you all the best. I truly do. And I will be there to see you through in any type of a way that I can. If you need somebody to talk to, if you take serious your effort to try to do it a little bit different, I'm not even asking you to just go, you know, off the deep end, just completely night and day the change. Just try, man. Just try. Because what you've shared with me in this video is something that you're going to be able to look back on, and I want this to really resonate with you. I want you to see this and be like, damn, man, like, I've got some potential. You know, I've got potential to do something out here. You've made it out here for 4 years after prison. And though you might not be doing all that well, you still have every day that you're fortunate enough to be able to wake up to attempt to do it a little bit different.
Yeah. Let's time mark this. Columbus Day 19.
2019.
Yeah, Columbus Day 19. Let's see where I'm at. Because 6 months ago, I told my homeboys, I said, hold me to this. I said, I'll have turntables again and stuff again in a year, right? So that was around May. I told them to hold me to that, right? So we're gonna have a van. We're gonna have me some turntables. We're gonna be working on some music.
What you gonna do? You're gonna do what do you call it, like disc jockeying?
Oh, I used to be a DJ. See, and Joe, you don't know me.
I don't, honestly.
You don't know me. You know what I mean? DJ Dollar Bill, Illy Bay. Yeah.
What is it? Illy
Bay.
Illy Bay?
Yeah, it's because, you know, Billy. My family call me Billy, and I've always hated that. I go by Will now, right? But they still call me Billy, so I hate it. But anyway, so I had a dope fiend homeboy who said, you know, there's 1,000 white boy Billies. You don't own the Illy Bay, right? Because you're always ill, and you're going to do something because you're on sick bay. So you Illy Bay, right? Pig Latin for Billy. And then my dumbass gets it tattooed right there.
It's crazy.
See my fat little ugly stomach?
And you was talking about my fat. I do want to wrap this up on probably the most powerful part to your story, if you'd be willing to show us. You've already showed and shared so much with us. Would you show us what you showed me when we first got here? And that was legitimately how you're living.
Yeah, my sleeping situation. Which way do we want to go in? You still filming?
Yeah.
All right. Let me let everybody know something.
I mean, I can put the camera down. I won't put anybody on camera.
Yeah. All right, come on.
Am I good?
Yeah. You upstairs need loud people.
It's okay. Hello. So what you're getting ready to show us is where you're sleeping, and this is 4 years after you've been released.
Yeah, because of the choices that I made and sticking all my money up my nose or in my veins, I don't pay rent. I don't have car payments, no nothing. I'm sleeping on the floor in the dining room of my brother's house only because he has a good-natured soul and won't let me sleep on the street. Right? So this is where I'm sleeping at. All my life possessions are in a book bag. And I've still got penitentiary bags for my laundry. I'm still wearing a penitentiary belt. 4 years home. Sad, bro. I'm basically homeless because of the choices that I make.
Griff, we're gonna wrap this up. I wanna say, you know, it's good to see you after 4 years.
I'm still breathing. Shout out to Donnie Cochran. Shout out to Will West. It's funny how some of the best friends you ever made were dudes that you were locked up with.
And some of them guys aren't even here no more.
Exactly, a lot of them. Finney.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too many to name. Too many to name.
You know, if you keep going down the path that you're going down.
Absolutely. It's suicide on an installment plan.
You just witnessed that 3 weeks ago, damn near.
Yeah, yeah. And the call for help was the fact that I wasn't thankful to be woken up. So that lets me know that my aim is in the wrong place. I'm going the wrong way. I mean, I'm gonna be cremated pretty soon if I don't start making the right choices.
I wanted to be able to come do this video with you, and I hope this speaks to a lot of people that, you know, choices, it's all about the choices that you make on a daily basis that impact where you end up in life. You make no reservations about the fact that, you know, you have put yourself in this situation.
Yeah, it ain't nobody's fault but mine.
But just as you make no reservations about that, because of you, and only you, you know, things could be completely different as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's watch. Let's see where I'm at as time goes on. Yeah, because it's been 4 years, and let's act like today's my release date. And
you ready to make some changes?
Somebody left me a little raggedy scooter, and they blessed me with a place to sleep. So now it's time to get my grind on, and it's a new release date.
Well, I'll definitely be interested in following up and doing anything that I can to help motivate you to get further than where you are right now.
No, one thing I can promise you is that you won't be making a video saying that, I'm sorry, we lost Griff. You won't be making that video. Yeah, me, you, Jellicoe, and Dave all hanging out playing poker or something. You know, clean and sober.
Hell yeah.
After prison.
Hell yeah.